Hey guys, what's up? This is Sam is the best, and I just got out of the shower, so. But, anyways, today I wanted to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 that's coming out in 2 months. So, I will say I am very excited for this console. I watched the Direct yesterday, which also came out yesterday, believe it or not. Um, and what they showed there, I was ecstatic about. I was very, very excited. You know, there were a lot of things that piqued my interest with that direct. Mario Kart Tour, or sorry, Mario Kart World looks phenomenal. Uh, Nintendo GameCube is finally out on a Switch console, which means Luigi's Mansion the original will finally be on a home console after like I don't know how many years now. Yeah, I don't know. Uh, the sequel to Kirby Air Ride, Kirby Air Riders, is also very hype, and Donkey Kong Bonanza. Wow, I did not expect DK Bonanza and Kirby Air Riders were the two games I wasn't expecting to get announced in the direct. And apparently there's also a Mario Kart World direct coming out in 2 weeks. So we'll see how that pans out. But anyways, everything in general looks phenomenal. But then we get down to the unfortunate part. So you know how Nintendo was like famous for being like more affordable if you couldn't like purchase the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, all those consoles. Well, we just got like news about like the Nintendo Switch 2's price, as well as the price for like some of the games. The Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be priced because everyone speculated that the price for Nintendo Switch 2 would be $400. No, this thing is going to be priced at $450, which is absolutely crazy to me. Something that I would not expect in the slightest. Which, okay, it's a little more expensive, but I wouldn't say that's the part that like really irked me. What irked me the most were the price of the games. Especially with games starting to become more expensive over the years through microtransactions, battle passes, DLC, all that. And apparently Nintendo is going to start charging $80 as their full price for games. I saw this being the case for the Nintendo Switch 2 version of Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and Mario Kart World, especially being priced at $80. Now, obviously, you can partially blame this on, like, tariffs, inflation, and with everything else going on over the world. But the thing is, if that were the case, then full price charge would be at like around $70. The fact that it's going up to 80 is just mind-boggling. Or mind-boggling. I don't know why I screwed up saying that word. And then, there's also Donkey Kong Bonanza, which the price for that game is confirmed to be $70. So $10 cheaper than Mario Kart World, but still, why? Now, of course, if you buy the Nintendo Switch 2 bundle with Mario Kart World, you will be getting Mario Kart World for a lot cheaper. I think it's like $30 cheaper, something like that. However, the biggest issue is that you are paying $50 more, which means the bundle is priced at $500. What the hell, Nintendo? I just can't fathom. I can't express in words of how, insane this is. I'm truly mind-boggled. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. I expected someone like Sony or Microsoft to start doing this. Nintendo, though, man. What really sucks more is the fact that, they're making Switch 2 versions of already existing Nintendo Switch games, as well as upcoming Nintendo Switch games. And, you expect for those to be priced a little cheaper, right? Wrong. So for Breath of the Wild, the main changes there, they're upgrading the performance textures or whatnot, and also integrating a Nintendo Switch app, or Nintendo Switch Online app feature, or I don't know. And you expect for something like that to be priced at around $10 or $20. No, this thing is priced at around $70 with the Tears of the with the Switch 2 version of Tears of the Kingdom being priced at around $80. That is a huge problem there, especially considering that if this practice continues, that soon Sony and Microsoft are going to jump on this train and start charging more for video games, and gaming becomes less affordable due to how much more expensive it will be getting. Which is, it's not very good, I won't lie. And the fact that people still defend these prices is absolute insanity to me. If you defend any of these business practices for consumers and just in general for gaming, you are out of your mind. Because no one should have to ever defend disgusting business practices like that. It is absolutely diabolical. It is just... I'm just flabbergasted more than anything. I just don't have words to say. And the thing is, you would probably blame tariffs and everything else for Nintendo hiking up the price for their products for Switch 2. But the thing is, The Japanese version of the Nintendo Switch 2 costs $333, way cheaper than the American version. This is due to the fact that Japanese yen has become a lot less valuable over the years. So to compensate that, Nintendo changed the price to compensate for the weaker currency in Japan. And the thing is, you probably expect to be able to play American titles and all that if you own the Switch 2. If you own the Japanese version of the Nintendo Switch 2, you cannot, and I repeat, cannot play any of the North American releases. It is multinational locked, which I have to ask, why is this a thing? And the thing is, this stuff is becoming less affordable in other countries too. It's way more expensive in Australia, it's way more expensive in the UK. Just all in general, it's way more pricey to go and buy the Nintendo Switch 2 from Europe. So, I don't know, man. Will I be getting the Switch 2? In the future, probably, but because, I'm a huge Nintendo fan. I have been for almost 17 years now, which is absolutely crazy to think about, especially considering the fact that I will be 20 in 4 more days. Oh, man. Lord, time really does fly by quickly, doesn't it? But anyways, I probably will still bite the bullet and still go for Switch 2. But I will not be paying $450 for one single gaming console. No way in hell am I doing that. Especially considering I don't make very much money as it is. In fact, I am gonna be finding another job to work at in about, in about another week, maybe. Yeah, at most another week. Which means I would either be waiting until the price drops significantly for Switch 2 in order to get it, or just wait to get it as a holiday Christmas present, or for the holidays, a Christmas present. That goes for the same with the games. If they're gonna charge $80 at max for their games, I'm gonna start collecting less than what I normally do, because even as someone who is a huge nerd and gamer like myself, I cannot justify myself paying $80 for one single game multiple times, which means at max I'm probably looking forward to owning at around 5 physical copies for Nintendo Switch 2 games. It's not looking good, Nintendo. It really isn't. And if Nintendo, if you're watching this and hearing us out, please, I beg of you, do not make the same mistake like you did with the Nintendo Wii U. I do not want this Nintendo Switch 2 product to end up like another Wii U, where it becomes a huge failure and just, like, becomes in scarcity. Because, truthfully, I don't want this company to go bankrupt. I don't want the Nintendo Switch 2 to fail. I want it to succeed with all in my heart. But once again, I can't justify myself constantly going over to just buying these expensive consoles in pricier games. So for the longest time being, I'm probably going to stay on Nintendo Switch gaming and retro gaming for a while. Since, it's way more affordable, it's less expensive to deal with, especially if you go by, like, bargain markets for games and all that stuff. Because, remember, necessities come first. There are people out there who have to pay for college. There are people who have to pay for groceries. There are people that have to pay for clothes. There are people who have to pay for water, electricity. All of those necessities. So, like, spiking up in price for gaming is just not the way to go. It's going to end up causing the game community to fall down hard and cause another crash, like in 1983. So just, Nintendo, with all due respect, please make the right choices. Don't let this end up being like another instance where people just won't just make much better business practices. You are much better than this. I know that fully. I understand that games are being way more expensive to produce. I get that. But you cannot go out of your way to go this greedy and just expect to get away with it. It's absolutely diabolical. But anyways, those are my thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. And let me know how you feel about this situation. Do you have the same thoughts like I do? Or are you completely indifferent somehow? Anyways, this is Sam is the Best, signing out. Peace out, folks. Hope y'all have a fantastic day.